Hey guys, Chris the Lazy Geek here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at this little package in front of me which contains a smart telescope. Hopefully, we'll see. So this is a camera or motorized camera slash telescope that is built by a company called DWARFLAB, and this camera is called the DWARF II. So when I say a camera, it's really a motorized kind of telescope. Think something like the Stellina or the Vespera. So it's a fully motorized telescope that can be used for like simple terrestrial videography or for astrophotography. It was preceded by the DWARF I, which was much more specialized in like normal terrestrial video and camera work kind of stuff. And I was actually approached by DWARFLAB at the time of the DWARF I to feature it on the channel, but because it didn't have like anything really related to deep sky astrophotography that was convincing enough for me to actually try it and feature it, I had refused at the time. This time around, they showed me that they built some astrophotography specific features inside this telescope. And so I'm thinking that this could be a very small form factor telescope for electronically assisted astronomy, maybe even to some extent pure astrophotography at a price that is very competitive. I think like the closest competitor would be like the Vespera telescope from Stellina, or we could have as well my own little telescope that I had, whose instructions I put on this this YouTube channel. But this is cheaper. This is around $400 US. It is also a smaller aperture, smaller camera. We'll see how that works out. Now I come to this completely blind. I don't really know what's inside. I don't really know what's in the package. And I haven't really looked into the product besides seeing that it should be good for at least electronically assisted astronomy. So we'll discover it together. Big disclaimer, I received this product for free from DWARFLAB. I do not have to return it at the end. And I am free to put whatever opinion I want in my videos. So they have no editorial control over the content of my videos. And I mean, I think you know me, if I find something bad with the product, first I'll let them know, because if it's software, they might be able to fix it. And I will also let you guys know. And so just like, keep this in mind. I am not paid, but I have received this for free. So very important disclaimer here. Okay, so let's get around to opening this. This has like actually on my side all of the labeling, right? Label packages. There's my address on there, so I'm not showing you. But let's see what we get inside this box. Okay, so surprise, surprise, inside the box there is another box that is kind of expected. And let's get this out. Ooh, yes, a little telescope was born. There we are. Okay, so this is the DWARF II Smart Telescope. So let's open this and see what's inside. So we have see further. Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at stars, it's pretty far. So what is in here? Okay, so we have this. Now, what is this? It looks like, well, this is interesting. There's more than I expected. So this looks like a filter holder. It has a nice, I don't know if you can see on the video, but like engraving of Ursa Minor, I guess, on the back, and we have some filters there that are delivered with the telescope. So what are those filters? That's very interesting. That's like, I haven't really seen that packed with a telescope before, but we have a UHC filter. That's good. We have an ND 1 millionth, so I guess that will be for solar photography. Okay, I was not expecting that. And we have another ND 1 millionth. So yeah, in that case, I think there are two lenses on the telescope, we'll see. So you would use both solar filters to not damage the internal sensor if you point it at the sun. This is really cool, actually. I didn't know that I'd be able to image the sun Not in H-alpha, but you know, it's better than nothing. And the ultra high contrast filter, it has the right color that I'm used to for like standard kind of light pollution filters. So that's neat. We can install filters on the telescope, and the filter size is 1.25 inches, which means that I should be able to also use filters, other filters like Optolong Extreme 1.25 inch. Maybe that would work, I don't know, but I guess that's something to try in the future. And also with this, we're getting a tiny scope. I had no idea this was included either, but this tiny scope looks to be a... oh, this is so cute. It looks to be a microscope. So an electronic microscope, which I guess it's a nice little bonus. I probably will not be reviewing it much for you guys. I'll probably test it on my own because microscopy is a lot of fun, but it is not the main topic of this channel. Okay, so let's set this part aside and we can go to the plat de résistance, which will be, I assume, in this black bag. Which has a DWARFLAB written on it. It's a dwarf carrying bag, okay? And let's get this opened. Okay, so what do we have? We have an instruction manual in English and in Chinese. So that's like the quick start guide. I'm gonna leave it open so I know what I'm doing. We have a shoulder strap, and we have what else? 64 gigabyte card. This is an Evo Plus, yeah, V10. That's reasonably fast. And oh, this is cute. We have a little tiny tripod. Okay, little tiny tripod. It's written DWARFLAB on it. And it's a very standard thingy. Yeah, it's not the highest quality, but that's fine. As long as it holds the telescope steady, it will be nice. For now, we're gonna use that. I have like other tripods, as you know, in case we want to have a more stable platform. But it's nice. I actually didn't expect there to be a tripod. And it's a separate tripod, right? So I think it's a bit different from like the Stellina telescopes where it's included. And then we have the real meat of the thing, the actual telescope. Let's open that up. Wow, okay. Okay, so this is the telescope. So there are indeed two lenses at the front. The one on my left, your right, is the telephoto lens. My right, your left, is the wide angle. We have a base that is motorized. There is a USB-C port on the base. We have, I assume, what is a battery compartment. Yes, so there is... Wow, that's a chunky battery. There is inside a chunky battery. 5,600 milliamp hours at 4.2 volts. That's actually really cool to know that the battery is replaceable. I was expecting kind of like an internal battery that might need servicing in the end. Oosh. I'm gonna put it on the tripod. Okay, so the whole package is quite small. And if it can really be used for like simple astrophotography and for electronically assisted astronomy, this could be great for hiking. And you've seen some of my later videos, and yeah, hiking is one of the things I want to do with astrophotography equipment. This would fit the bill, and it's actually one of the reasons why I accepted to review this product, to see how well it would work for me for astrophotography. So let's look. I'm going to look at the manual. So what are they saying? They're saying the power button is here, that we have the telephoto camera, the wide angle camera, This is the whole optical module, which looks to be like folded 90 degrees. We have the Type-C port, which I mentioned, within the base. And there is a micro SD card slot. And actually, let's see, yeah, I can turn the lens. If you can see this metal part here, this is actually not plastic, this is metal, it's cold to the touch. And this is apparently a heatsink. Okay, that's interesting. That's actually a good sign. Okay, and here is the SD card area. And I am going to insert this SD card. Okay, so now before I start playing with this telescope, as far as I understand it, and I'll put remarks in text as necessary, but this is currently in production, and if orders are done now, it should ship in December. But this is a review unit. It's probably an early unit, and I'm not sure how much of a prototype it is. While I'm filming this video, there is a software for an app for Android to control this telescope, but the iPhone version is still under development and will be released at a later date, which I assume will be together with the actual shipping of the units. Okay, let's turn this thing on. Okay, nice. We see light on the side. I see probably the battery indicator at the bottom there with the thing is moving kind of indicator. So now, and I need to download the app and connect to it. Okay, and I'm in the app. So I just launched the app. See further, I'm going to agree to service agreement. I am going to give access to my location, photos, videos, music, etc. And let's see if I can click on connection. Allow. Seems it has found the camera, connecting to it via Bluetooth. Connect to device, sure, why not? Okay, that was very painless. And now I'm connected to the telescope. The app is like connected in real time with that thing. Apparently I don't see any issues. And we have a green dot here that I can use as a joystick to move the camera around. The motors are extremely quiet. I barely hear anything, which is a good sign for me. And we can switch by tapping on the corner between the wide-angle lens and the telephoto lens, which is a nice little trick. Let's see. We have some settings here on the left, and we have what? IR cut filter. Wait, can I? It made a little sound. It's actually adjusting a filter. Oh, this is super cool. Yeah, you can see the white balance, the auto white balance tries to catch up. This is super cool. This is super cool. So there is an integrated IR cut or pass filter for when you're doing normal videography like terrestrial during the day, or if you're doing astrophotography, you can pass the infrared light. This is super cool. Okay, so we have those settings. We can display or hide the wide lens camera. We can switch between the two. We can move the camera with the joystick. And I am on the photo mode. And let's see what's under feature. We can track a subject, just like I don't know, DJI drones, if you've ever used one of those. We can do focus. So I'm actually going to go to some object where like focusing will be easy. How about these little dudes there? So one thing I'm noticing is that the joystick is very precise, but at the same time, when I want to do very small adjustments, it seems to be going a bit too fast for me. So I don't know if there's like a speed setting. Could this be a speed setting? Yes, okay. Oh, nice. They have like a little highway icon where you can change the speed at which the motors will move. So I can be max speed. Oh, okay. Or I can be slow speed. Oh, okay, this is super convenient. Okay, so I wanted to test the focus, so I'm gonna now click on focus, auto. Not perfect. Let's see if I can adjust. Yes, I can adjust. Okay, this is good. This is great for astrophotography. I wonder, something they should try to deliver with the lens holder that they have is a bad enough mask for people who want to really do precise focus. Now, I don't know. I don't know how astrophotography is going to work. Maybe they have like a proper curve-based autofocus. I have no idea. If they do, then we don't need that. But otherwise, that could be a great idea. Let's see. How do I put those filters on, by the way, while I'm at it? Oh, it's magnetic. It's magnetic. Guys, it's magnetic. So I can put those filters and then I can just screw in the filters in there. This could be really nice, especially since it's simply external 1.25-inch filters. They are compatible with existing astrophotography filters. I had no idea. Let me try to just like take a picture, pressing the button, shoot success. There's an album button here. Let's see if it appears. Yes, it does. It's there. We have our image. Okay, so we're likely not going to get the like best quality ever. It's not going to be a DSLR quality, but this is boding well. I see the motors are running well very silently. They can be controlled quite precisely. There remains to be seen like what the under the stars, the chromatic aberration will be like, the tracking will be like, the stacking will be like, because as far as I understand, this thing internally can do stacking of the images as well. It can save the images in RAW. It can do GoTo. It can do, I think it can do equatorial even, like really stuff to look at. And it can save the individual sub images and the stack as well. So you can like restack later on. It also means that we would likely be able to take dark frames, which by the way, DWARFLAB, maybe another suggestion, just a black adapter. So a filter that's completely black, not just like 1 millionth ND filter, like completely black, so we can take dark frames ourselves for calibration later if we're going to use this thing for astrophotography. This could be really nice. Okay, so let's look on the right hand side. We have like burst, time-lapse, photo, we just did, photo, video, sure, why not, panorama. I guess this is going to be a motorized panorama. There's too much stuff in this room that I don't want to show you guys, so we're not going to do a panorama right now. I'll probably try it once it stops raining and I can use this thing outside to see how well it works. And we have Astro. Now, Astro is what we're all interested in. Let's see, what do we have in there? Feature. And let's see, first, do these settings change? No, the settings are the same. So when I'm in Astro, I want to make sure that I want to pass the infrared light. Oh, and I didn't realize that there were two settings for both wide and telephoto. Okay, and I was playing with telephoto. Telephoto is, only the telephoto lens seems to have this IR pass filter, which is perfectly fine. Okay, oops. Okay, and we're back. And let's see, so let me go back to Astro. Let's look at feature. And there we have it. So we have GoTo calibration, which I assume is like the initial GoTo alignment. Auto GoTo, stop GoTo. What do we have more? Format RAW, very important. Oh, they have fits. Wow. Okay, TIFF, FIT, JPEG. Yeah, so definitely RAW would be good. I would likely save it as fits for astrophotography. Number of images to take, I guess. Binning, okay, we have binning 2x2 are off. Display stacked are single frames. Stacked, I guess. And there's like, I guess that's like the brightness curve. I'm gonna reset that. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I will look at the instructions for this product before I use it with you guys under the stars. But this is really, really exciting because I see a lot of potential in there. Yeah, and so format is fits. Count. What is the count? Is that the number of exposures? Where do I define my exposure length then? Shutter speed, of course. The shutter speed is there. And so that's where I will be defining my exposure length. And I can put it to auto. Okay, this works great. Okay, exposure lengths here, and then under feature, I can choose the number of exposures. At least that's how I understand it. Okay, this is good. This is really, oh, sorry, this is exciting. Isn't it, guys? Isn't this exciting? Okay, let's go back to GoTo. what happens if I click on auto go to? I can have a manual. Also, this is super cool. M16. Yeah, M16, whatever that is, Liu Sei Gun. So this is actual shower, I mean, meteor shower, Liu Sei Gun. Okay, so we have tons of stuff in there. Would be nice to have a way to search for stuff. And I assume this is basically a best of based on what is currently visible in the night sky. And I was saying it would be nice to have a search, but the like best of kind of object seems to be quite limited. So this is perfectly fine. And in manual, I can put my own target coordinates. So I think like obviously for progressing in here, we'll want to have a larger catalog of object with a search function. But because we're able to put manual coordinates, I could like switch between Sky Safari, for instance, get the coordinates there and then input them manually in there. It's not the best, but it is really nice. Okay, so auto go to, I see what it does, and this will let me go to the targets that I want. This is super cool. And we already saw more. And calibration. What happens when I tap calibration? Success in accessing location. It's trying to plate solve. Don't. Dude, you're not going to be able to plate solve. But this is super cool. Oh man. Okay, stop go to. Stop go to. Okay. Okay. Guys, this is very promising. It's like Astro function stopping. It's taking a while. You know what? I'm just going to turn it off. So from what I can tell at this time, we have a little motorized camera / telescope. We're going to be using it on this channel for astrophotography. It comes with a filter adapter that seems to be magnetic. So I can clip it in and we can put our filters in. So if I wanted to do solar astrophotography, I would put on both sides the ND filter. This is super cool. So we have the filters and we have the light pollution filter that's in there, which I'm going to definitely be testing in Tokyo. This is really exciting. We have the IR cut or pass filter in the telephoto lens. We have the go-to calibration with plate solving, apparently. We have the go-to target catalog. That's not very big like that, but I assume they will want to make it bigger with the search function in the end. We have the ability to save as FIT files, or as TIFF files, or as JPEG. Obviously, FIT will be nice. We have the ability to stack or not, to save the individual sub-exposures. Now, if DWARFLAB can add like this might work in very dark circumstances, but just like a black plastic filter to completely cover the lenses, so we're able to take darks that without fearing that these filters aren't enough. That could be great. So with this telescope, I can take darks, I can take flats, I can take light frames, I can take bias frames. So really, it looks like this could be a very usable telescope. It really comes down to how well will the tracking work. And I will try with the default tripod, and if I see I have trouble with the default tripod, I'm going to use a better tripod maybe, because with me on the roof balcony, I'll also have my table. My table is not the most stable thing in the world, so I'm expecting to have issues there. And I'm going to likely use a much better tripod to support this little dude here. So tracking quality will be really like what will decide how well this works. We will also need to check how well the camera sensor works. This is a Sony IMX415 sensor in there, and the resolution is 8 megapixels. We'll see how well that works. The lens itself, the aperture is 24 millimeters at f4.2, so it's a small aperture but reasonably fast, which is good. We'll see how well the quality of the optics is, so that's another thing that we'll need to check under the stars. There is what I showed earlier, a kind of like heatsink element, which I assume is to some extent connected to the back of the sensor, which is a great idea. We'll see how well that works. And yeah, the focal length, by the way, is 100 millimeters. So it's, even the telephoto is quite wide field, but for something this size and this tracking capabilities, I think this is exactly what I would like to see, like nothing more, nothing less than 100 millimeters. And one thing also that I'm very curious about is the stacking quality in there for electronically assisted astronomy, because what I will want to do is do both electronically assisted astronomy, but also like true astrophotography. But for the former, we'll need to rely on the stacking processes that are in there. Apparently, this thing packs like a 4-core, like 1.5 gigahertz processor. I have no idea what it is actually. And I'm not sure whether the stacking is done within there or within the actual Android app. I would assume within here because of the data that will need to be transferred to the phone. So that's going to be very interesting. Honestly, for now, I am very excited by this new toy. Of course, it arrived with rain, as it always happens with astrophotography equipment. But man, it's like, it seems to be really well thought out. You have a removable battery as well. You have the filters, have everything you need, it seems, for astrophotography, and a little electronic microscope with it for whatever reason. So I am extremely excited by this. We'll see how well it works under the stars. Also, one thing I'll be interested in seeing under the stars is the quality of the autofocus. And again, another suggestion besides like a black filter would be a bad enough mask filter for like manual focusing very precisely for people who want to do actual astrophotography rather than electronically assisted astronomy with this. So I'll be providing this feedback to DWARFLAB and see what their replies are. And these are based only on my first impressions of the hardware. But this is very portable, like really portable in this little pouch. I'm very excited about this. Now I'll put the links down below to the DWARF II page if you want to like look into the details of the specifications and who knows, maybe even pre-order this little device. But yeah, next time you see me with it, we'll try it under the stars. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget whenever you can to look up at the stars, and I'll see you next time.